Okay, says we're live. Um, I wasn't sure I was going to be here because I didn't know how much noise these driveway people, I'm getting my driveway redone today, and I didn't know how much noise they were going to be making. This morning they were noisy. So they've got their machine running out there. Tell me whether or not you guys can hear it. It should be just like a low drone. That's kind of how I hear it. So tell me what you think, and while you're listening, I'll say hi. Hi, Missy. Hi, Kat. Hi, Terry. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Keeks. Hi, Sharon. All right, I think I got everybody. So let me know if you can hear it. I don't think it's too obnoxious. Hi, Linda. Give Tim a hug. Um, yeah, so, hi, Christina. Christina, I think you asked me if I'd gotten your cards, and I said I had not yet. I didn't look at the two that I'd already shown, so I should keep a list, I guess, so I can know immediately. Hi, Anne. But I've got four to show today. So what I'm talking about is the passport travel ATC swap that we're doing. Deadline is May 30th. Hi, Bossy Butt. Hi, Icy. Um, so you've still got plenty of time to join. All the instructions are in my community/post page or Dee Dee Willingham. So go look up the instructions. If you need my home address, where to mail them, I think I put my email in my post, but just message me and I'll get you my mailing address. But I've gotten, I believe, 6 so far. So I'm going to show those first. And then today, because I wasn't sure if I was streaming and blah, 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 a couple weeks ago, I showed you guys my stamp sample book, and it was such a mess. It still is. And I thought, you know what? There's so much work already in that. And I used to use it all the time until I trashed it out, and I want it back. So I'm going to work on getting it back together in the next few weeks, probably only once on stream. But I started it this weekend. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Barbara Clark. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed about this whole driveway thing. All they've done so far is fill the cracks. My driveway is a circle drive, and it's big, and it's asphalt. So it was just getting kind of cracks in it and was gray and dingy and icky. So when I talked to this guy, he gave me a good price on it, and I said, okay, let's get it done. I didn't think to tell him don't do it on a Monday, but I figured when he called and said, how about I start on Monday, I just went, do it. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Did B come in? Hi, B. So, yeah, that's where we're at today. It's kind of crazy, and I'm not good about stuff like this. When I have strangers around, I don't like it. So I'm a little unnerved today, in case you can't tell. So that's what we're doing. I'll show the ATCs first. These are from, believe it or not, Linda and Tim Rents. And I don't show the envelopes because I don't want addresses and stuff out there. But Linda and Tim did Florida. And you could pick any location. It can be real, it can be imagined, it can be foreign. Hi, other Janet. And they picked Florida. So they're pink, they're very colorful. You have to submit 10. You'll get 9 back in a like a baseball card sleeve. You don't have to mail them in a sleeve because it makes it hard for me when it comes time for the swap, but a couple already have, so it's no big deal. So we'll just lay them out here. Florida. Now, Linda, I would ask, why Florida? Because I think you don't live there. I'm certain you don't live there. Yeah, the little birds, they're cute. They're adorable. And you can use any medium. They just have to be 2.5 by 3.5. Got them in here all goofed up. And there's fruit and bugs and birds, and pineapples and Flip-flops. They are. Oh, Tim was born in Florida. They are very Floridian. Ice cream. That bird. Sunglasses. Very cute. You play. Well done, Linda and Tim. And here, you know, sometime the week after May 30th, the deadline, I will get the swap all done and get them back out to you. And so sometime, probably mid-June, most of you will be getting yours. Tim chose the place. That's awesome. I don't know, Terry. Oh, he helped you write the haiku on the back. Okay. Is it the same on all of them? I didn't even know that. Florida awaits watermelon icy drinks, land where Tim comes from. Aw, I'm glad you put that on the back. Yeah, they're all the same. How cute is that? The land where Tim came from. Well, if I had read that before, Linda, I wouldn't have said, I'm not sure why you picked Florida. I would have known. So Tim is a Floridian. I like Florida. Okay, and this one is from Mariah Sansom, I think. Sansom, yeah. So I don't know if we know her as some other name, and so Mariah, if we know you as some other name, I'm just looking. Yeah, I don't know. So all right, on the back of her, she did write, the national animal for South Korea is the Siberian tiger. The national flower is, oh, don't, okay, good. I'm glad she gave me an alternate name. Hibiscus syria. Ooh, I can't read that. Or Rose of Sharon. Okay, cool. So she did the national animal and the national flower. Very cool. The coat of Ireland is a harp. The national bird is lapwing northern, and national flower is the shamrock. So she picked all different countries. The Philippines national animal, here's the picture. I love the drawings. They're so cute. Is the caribou, also known as the water buffalo. The national flower is Sampaquita jasmine, sambac jasmine. God, I'm really a bad reader, huh? That one's so cute. Look at that. Right? I like that she put the facts on it. Samoa national animal is Manumia, also known as the tooth-billed pigeon. The national flower is the tuia, also known as red ginger or ostrich plume. How cute is that? And that's what I've been doing in my passport journal is I always get the animal and the flower, you know, or interesting facts about, these are from Icy. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to put that on here. I didn't know Icy's name was Maria. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kat. This is, I think it's Japan. Nippon, yeah. Nihon is what she's got. The crane is a symbol of happiness, longevity, and good fortune. The chrysanthemum is Japan's imperial emblem. Cherry blossom is the national flower. And I've already done Japan in my passport journal. These are fun, Icy. And I knew the flag. So look at that elephant. Oh my God, that's so cute. The national animal of Thailand is Thai elephant, also known as the Asian elephant or Chang Thai. Cool. I'm trying to keep them all kind of in the camera. I bet this is Australia. Let's look. The kangaroo is widely recognized as unofficial national symbol. The national flower is the golden wattle. Cacao. I'm not even gonna. And I saw that name there, but IC didn't register. My guess is she didn't say the country, but I'd almost bet that if it's a kangaroo, it's going to be Australia. When Xander and CB and I went to Australia, we got to go to a place where we got to feed the kangaroos and touch them and everything. I didn't know at the time how dangerous they are. Brazil's national animal is the jaguar. I've drawn that already. That is adorable. These are fun, IC. Okay. Look at that. Guam's national bird is the Guam rail, also known as cuckoo bird. It cannot fly, and it can only be found in Guam. Well, who would have thought that? Guam national flower is the bougainvillea, also known as whatever. Don't ask me to pronounce those names. And a duck tried to bite your butt. That is very true, CB. The duck bit your butt. It was a fun day. Hi, CB, by the way. And I'll bet Patty and Xander are having the best time. I saw the picture on IG yesterday. Okay, this is the last one. Little hummingbird. The national bird of Jamaica is the doctor bird, hummingbird, and the national flower tree is Lingam vitae. And I've already done Jamaica in my travel journal as well. And they have a drink there, which I was going to do, but I've already done my 2 sets. So, but they have a drink there, an alcohol drink, that's called, and I was going to do a card on this and just do the national drink, but it's called Jamaica Me Crazy, and I just love that. So I'm glad to know that your name is Mariah. Hi, Flo. Thank you. Anybody I missed coming in? And then the next one is from Ann Lar. And Ann, some of this stuff I recognize, so you printed more of it out. Ann did kind of a passport theme with a lot of really cool ephemera, all 10 different, which that's cool. But they look like kind of pages out of your passport journal. So this is a cute idea. Yeah, and she just did her name and stuff on the back. I like that she included the pictures of the people. Very cool ephemera, and sent me a bunch of ephemera for the passport journal. Very cool. Isn't it funny that you come up with just a theme, whatever it is, and I say this every time we do a swap because it never ceases to amaze me, that if you give an artist a theme, hi, Keeks. Oh, I said hi. But anyway, if you have 100 people, you'll have 100 so different takes on that theme, which I think is really cool. And I hope you guys are using what you've got and thinking outside the box. I thought this was a really fun theme for the swap. Got a little bit of everything on it. Got a postage stamp photo, other postage stamps, a stamp on top. Looks like some washi tape. She crammed a bunch of stuff on here. And then the background is pages out of an actual passport, which is very cool. Aren't they cool? Very vintagey. I love that stamp. And I get to keep one of every one of them. So my guess is this will be the one because I do love that stamp right there. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do whatever you can. That's the absolute truth. So thanks for playing, Ann. Yours are awesome. They're all awesome. I love getting them. I can't tell you. When Robert brings the mail in, and there's a fat package in it, I'm always just like, woot woot. And this is from Sue Motts. And Sue is the one who so generously gave me those compasses that I showed a couple weeks ago. So very cool. Hers are thick. And there's, okay, hang on. I thought these were very cool, very cool. But she did Indian territory, kind of. They're all Indian related. I was born in 1954, and these are on the back in a little envelope back here. I was adopted in 1950. Okay, I'll start over. I was born in 1954 and immediately placed in foster care. I was adopted in 1955 by great parents at a time when mixed race, white and Native American was not allowed and shameful. My heritage was stripped from me except for verbal tales from caseworkers. I do not know my tribe, but I know I am Native and I am proud. Sue, one thing I would say is if you're so inclined and you want to know, my guess is right now that you could get a DNA test and they could identify at least your tribe. And depending on where you're from, I know you live in Seattle now, I would look into the tribes that were in the area that you were placed in foster care. My stepdad was Native American. He's 50% Osage. He's passed now, but he's 50% Osage and 50% Cherokee, full blood. And well, if you go back in his lineage, he wasn't full blood, but that's a whole nother story. Very interesting heritage the Indians have. But anyway, my cousin and I did the genealogy for a lot of their relatives. And it's hard with Native Americans because they were oftentimes exempt from other record keeping that maybe Americans didn't have to comply with. But we found a lot. If you ever get interested in doing it, there is information out there. It's generally kept at libraries. And of course, I live in Oklahoma where there's a huge Native American population. There are a lot of Indian centers around that have information. So if you're interested at all, you'd be surprised how much information is out there. But I love these Indian related cards. I just love them. And in the back, each one has its own envelope and has her story on the back. So, but when I read that, I was just like, now I want to help her. This one has like a little fold out. I've got them upside down. Well, I've got a mess is what I've got. It is cold and we have no blankets. The little children are freezing to death. My people, some of them, have run away to the hills and have no blankets, no food. I want to have time to look for my children and to see how many of them I can find. Maybe I shall find them among the dead. Hear me, my chiefs. My heart is sick and sad from where the sun now stands. I'm having a hard time reading this. It's small. I will fight no more forever. These are said to be the words of Chief Justice of the Nez Perce, spoken after he and his people had been chased and caught by the army some 40 miles short of refuge in Canada. That whole history is a little bit mind-boggling. These are from Sue. Yes, they are. They're from Sue Mautz, M-A-U-T-Z, the first Americans. I like this one. It's got a fishing line on it, which I thought was very cool, kind of interactive. But yeah, I'm going to try not to wreck that as best I can. They are very awesome cards. Grand Rush for the Indian Territory. Very different, but all, like they all go together. Indian Territory. I live in Indian Territory. And we still have Indian reservations in Oklahoma. And I can still buy a lot of Indian stuff, like they're still selling a lot of their handiwork, beaded stuff like that. You can still find places down here where you can get that stuff. They're very well done, Sue. Very well done. Love them a lot. So I don't want that arrow to get trashed. So if you get one of these, don't forget that it has this little envelope in the back with Sue's story on it. So that was cool that she chose her own heritage to do. And that's it. And then I got my second ones done. Should I show them or should I not? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I did 4. Hey, View. Yeah, I like those too. I see. I loved yours too. Yeah, everybody's they're all awesome. You want me to show my second set? I already showed my first set, which was the Japanese ones. And then I just got these done late last week. And other than that, I have done almost no art. Hi, Angie. So those can go in the box now. And then these I did a bunch of them. I just want to make sure I have enough to swap out. Boy, that looks dark to me. I moved the lights back because it seemed like I was getting such a glare. Standards are already high. There's going to be awesome cards. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this set of mine are all the same. And I did France, and the iris, of course, is the flower. And then I used one of the stamps that I recently ordered. The blue and the red and the white are their national flag colors. So, yep, all the same. Isn't that true, Anne? Once you start, it's hard to stop. Hi, Angela. So that's that. Got them done. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing another country and another country and another country. And it was actually working on these that made me think, okay, you need to get your stamp catalog back in order. So I'm not going to show the whole book again because it's just too out of control. But I thought what I would do, since I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today or not, based on what they're doing out there. I'm going to look out the window and see what they're doing. Oh, he's already spraying the carport. Oh, awesome. Awesome possum. Okay. Well, looks like it's going to get done today, which makes me very happy. But all the pages in the stamp catalog are like this. They each have categories, and I'm going to ask you guys for help with categories. But this is the mail art section, and this is a page that I had already done where I'd colored all the stamps. And when I get a new stamp, okay, you don't hear anything, awesome. Well, now if they've done up close to the house, if they've done the carport, everything else will be away from the house. So I think we're going to be okay. I hope. Oh my God, I hope. Anyway, so yesterday, but anyway, what I was saying was, when I get a new stamp, first thing I do is stamp it and color it and play with it. And so this is all old. But because I keep stamps stored all over the place, all over my walls, all over, I have a cabinet for them. I've got a tote downstairs. On here is where I can locate the stamp. And it's really helped me. And I'm disappointed that I've let it fall to the wayside. So I'm going to get it back in shape. And so the problem is some stamps that I've acquired lately don't necessarily fit in the categories that I have. But the categories that I have right now are scenery, flowers and garden, food, fruits and veggies, cartoon characters, people faces, house mouse, envelope mail art, which is obviously this one, hearts and love, holidays, words and alphabets, miscellaneous, which miscellaneous is the dumbest category ever. But anyway, I have one of those. Humorous, animals, borders and frames, celebration and birthday. I'm going to add one that is journaling and planner, because I bought a bunch of journaling and planner stamps. And then the other one that I just created yesterday was travel, map, and world. You like the one? Postage? Yeah, and I don't know, check SR tote in kits, so I don't even know what that note means. But each stamp has a location, so I can usually go and find it in just a couple of minutes. And then this is what I did yesterday of all the new stamps that I've gotten that weren't included on these pages. So they're not colored yet, but hopefully, you know, when I need just something to do, I'll go ahead and color those in so they'll be as colorful as the pages. Yeah. So I just pulled out a bunch of stamps, stuff that I've gotten new since I know I hadn't been working in this, and I'm going to stamp them and probably color them. And I'm going to put them all on the washi sticker paper. And then I keep an envelope in each section that is either duplicates or stuff that I need to add. So these are all duplicates of stuff that were in there. And I think I did this because we did a swap once of postage. So these need to be added, and I wasn't going to start a second page yesterday. I'd had enough. So, yeah. You like the black and white stamps? I like them when they're colored, so I can remember how I like to color them. Don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So, yeah, that was what I did yesterday. I love postage. Do you guys like postage? I love postage. So that's how I kind of do it. And then Devin had asked me if I would show you guys how to cut an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper into 10 ATC swaps or ATC size cards. So I'm going to pull out, I should have pulled out the cutter already, but I'll show you how to do that so you can get 10 out perfectly. And I'm just going to use the cutter. Oh, the blade fell out. Got it. And you can find this on the internet. Okay. Got the blade back in. So if you're starting with a 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, which is the American standard, the first cut you want to make is 3.5 inches on the 8.5 inch side. And I hate these cutters because they're not accurate, but it's okay. We're going to work with it, okay? So cut a 3.5 inch strip first. And that leaves you with, what, like a 5 inch piece here, which cuts into 2.5 inch. And you end up with 2 strips that are 2.5 inches. On the 2.5 inch ones, and I did put a new blade in, cut these the 3.5 inch way. Make sure nothing's in the way and that you get them cut straight, which I almost just screwed up. So the first 2.5 inch strips get you 3, and you end up with this much waste. Again, 3.5 inch this way. 3.5. 3.5. There's 3 more, so you've got 6 total, that much waste. And on the 3.5 inch, cut these 2.5 inch this way, and you get 10 out with almost no waste. Any questions? And you get 4 2.5 inch this way with that much waste. So you get 10 out, 2.5 inch, perfect. Very cool, right? All right. Devin said that answered the question. So yeah, just figure 1 strip 3.5, 2 2.5, and then yep, the art cards are 2.5 across, 3.5 inch down. And out of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet, you get 10 out with almost just very little waste. Very, very easy. All right. So let me show you the stamps that I pulled out. I got a bunch of Tim Holtz stamps at Tuesday morning, before Tuesday morning closed down. I'm kind of sad about that. I had not been there much since COVID, because COVID made everything stupid. And I know none of these are in my book. So I'm going to go ahead. If you don't have a cutter, just measure it the same way, Jolu. 2 strips, 2.5, 1 3.5, and cut them that way. Yeah, it still works. So I know none of these, none of the Tim Holtz stamps that I've got are in the sample book. So I was going to stamp them, and then like I do have a holiday. This is where you get tripped up when you do a book like this, is when you get a bunch of these different ones. You can keep them together or you don't have to, but I've got some Halloween, got a present that could go in birthday, it could go in holiday, that could go in Valentine's Day, it could go in hearts and love. So sometimes, yeah, I make my own stamps a lot. So you kind of got to come up with some rules for yourself for how you're going to set this up. And like the cats and the dogs, those will go in animals. The birds, I definitely wanted to do the birds. Where's the other one? And then I have the same crazy cats, but in a smaller version. And then all the blueprint drawings. So this is where it gets kind of crazy, because like I just did a new category of maps, world travel. So this stuff will have a home. But then all this stuff, even though I keep them all together, yeah, they're going to stay as a set like this, but the individual stamps will go to different locations in the book with the location of unmounted Tim Holtz blueprint drawings, and then I'll add numbers to these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I got all these stamps, all these Tim Holtz stamps, I got really, really cheap at Tuesday morning. Yeah, see, so that's why I made a new category. And I may have to make more new categories, but like this and this, that will definitely go in the world map. See, here's a stamp that could go in stamp or travel, you know. So sometimes I do put the same stamp in multiple categories. So if you see me stamp something out twice, it's because I'm going to put it in the Tim Holtz category, but I'm also going to put it in whatever other category it goes. So it gets a little crazy. Yeah. Yeah, you can carve your own stamps. So yeah, we're just going to start stamping these, and we'll categorize them as we go. Oh, this is a chore, you guys. This is a chore. Let's start with the small crazy cats. And I'm going to do it on, all right, I'm going to move these out because they're going to block the light. Get my phone out of the way. And I'll put some, this is just fun foam to add a little bit of cushion. But I am going to work on the washi sticker paper because it's so easy just to cut out and slap down. You know what I mean? You're such a nerd. You like stamping and swatching and organizing. Oh my God, you and me both, Kristen. I'm not kidding. You know what? Nothing frustrates me more than knowing I have something and not being able to find it. Oh, it will make me crazy. Yeah, I did make a good score. I got some really good stuff from Tuesday morning. One time, well, it might have been this trip when I found all these Tim Holtz. I went in there and I spent like almost $100 and then ended up going over to Branson and they had one over there. And I was like, we have to go to Tuesday morning and see if they have different stuff than the one in Joplin had. Sure enough, that's how I ended up with so many of them. Well, Keeks, listen to the start small, but I have to say, mine has grown too big for a 3-ring binder. So depending on how many stamps you have, a 3-ring binder is a good way to start, is what I would say. And I did re-ink my pad, so hopefully I'm going to get really nice black images. And you guys will be able to see. So I'm just going to stamp them on here, you know, trying not to waste as much of the paper as I can. And used to be I was so meticulous about making sure my stamps were meticulously clean, blah, blah, blah. I don't necessarily do that anymore. But I love the crazy cats because you can use Snark with them. You can use them on so many different projects. You could do greeting cards. And the fun foam just adds a little bit more cushion. That's the only reason the fun foam is down there. And then some of the acrylic ones don't have any cushion on them. So I lay it down first just because sometimes I forget it. Yep, I missed Tuesday morning. And the thing I missed is around Christmas time, they used to have candy. I'm so bad. But I'm sure you guys have seen the candy. They're like little orange sticks, like gel orange flavored stuff surrounded by chocolate. Oh, I love those stupid things. I could eat like a whole box in one sitting. And the only place I could ever find them was Tuesday morning. Well, then when I couldn't go to Tuesday morning anymore, blah, right? So I looked them up online. And honest to God, Tuesday morning was giving those things away compared to what you can buy them online. I just was like, I cannot spend that. As much as I love it. And they only had them around Christmas time. So in my mind, they were kind of like a Christmas candy. But yeah, you went to order those online. It was so not pretty. Very pricey. And I can't remember now what it was, but I know it was more than I was willing to pay, for sure. So I can't get my orange candies anymore. And they had raspberry ones too, and I liked them both. So that's how unsettling it is in my life. I also liked in Tuesday morning they had the food aisle, had some unusual foods that you just didn't find other places. And one time I found some raspberry syrup there that was so delicious. Oh, it was so good. I have no clue where you could buy it now. So I miss that. And they always had really unusual stuff. And the first time I ever went to a Tuesday morning was down in South Padre Island, or probably Port Isabel, Texas, believe it or not. That's a real out of the way, crazy place. They used to have those lemon. Ooh, I didn't get the lemon mush. See? Now, see, this is another one. Here's a little bottle of milk. That could go in food. So I better stamp it twice. I will. I'll put it in food, and then the cats will go in animals. And probably under Tim Holtz, too. Maybe not. Oh, they took him out of California over a decade ago? No, mine's only been gone a couple years now. And little fish bones. And then a little ball of yarn, which I don't know where the yarn will go. I'll stamp it twice just in case. Maybe in miscellaneous. How often do you need a ball of yarn stamp? Probably not that often. But that's all of them. So when you sit down to do it, another thing I do, I'm not sure what I was working on, but if I ever make a mask, you guys know about stamping behind something, right? You want something in front of something, and you make yourself a mask. I keep the mask with the stamp. And this cat is in the other container of cats. So let me find that one. Because now I've gotten them out of order. Or I didn't pull it. But I know I have it because I have a mask for it. There's the crazy dogs. Oh, there's this stamp. I was going to say, am I losing my mind? So that's another cool thing. Yeah, keep your mask with the stamp, and then you don't have to cut multiple masks. And maybe you guys don't do stupid stuff like that I do. Who knows? All right, and let's go ahead and do like the dogs. Here's the big cats. We'll do the big cats next. And these are just CD cases that I scavenged. I moved all my CDs into, where's the little plastic? See, that's not going to fit. So I'm going to have to use my big stamp block, which I don't like. Let's try and see if we can make this one work. Oh, that's not wanting to stick. Is that going to stick? Okay, I don't think I'm going to make a mess. I might. Who doesn't need both sets of the crazy cats, big and little? I wouldn't have done it if they weren't really cheap. I promise you that. They're not wanting to stick to the acrylic block, though. That's kind of annoying. And I don't want to put glue or anything on it, so. Just needs to stay on. See, came off. All right, how do I want to do this? I think I won't use the block. I'm going to have ink all over me when this is done. Get it down and then press with the block. And I just duplicated the, he's all right for the sample book. Hi to anybody I missed coming in. All right, that one looks like it's gonna fit that way. All right, we'll see. Hey, Ruth. Hi, Art Junkie. Not a real crafter until you have inky, dirty hands. That's true. True that. When I finish the cats, maybe we'll take a minute and color. I'm so scared they're going to fall off before I get them on the paper. Another person who keeps a stamp catalog is Osgran Jen, and she has very elaborate storage and stuff like that. But I've done mine for years and years, probably since I started collecting stamps. And I got my very first stamp, and it was on a wood block, and it was in a mall, I believe, in Saskatoon, Canada. And it was like a duck, really cute little duck, and I had it in my desk at my job, and some dope stole it. So I'm trying to not waste the paper. So but I did order extra, so no worries there. Hi, my craft world, Tina. Can't get this side open. There it is. These are really dirty. I might have to get my stamp cleaner out and stamp them. See, it's not wanting to. I just licked it a little bit, and the moisture helps it stay on. They must have moved away from the house a little bit because I can't hear them out there now. Either that or maybe they went to lunch. I don't know. Let's see. Can I fit him on here? I think I can right there. Look at him. He's so sad. And for best results, if you're using this washi sticker paper, let it dry for a little while before you start coloring on top of it or whatever. I have had it smear a couple times, but even with the archival ink. But if you let it dry good, or even hit it with a heat gun, it's safe to start working on immediately. All right, that one is definitely not going to fit. Of all my stamp blocks, this big one, probably the most useful, but for whatever reason, I hate this one so much. It's just too big for my little hands. Did I say high flow? Or folo? All right, don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off. There we go. Lick the big block. I just licked the cat, not the block. I double dare you. Okay, let's check on them. They're doing the other side of the driveway first. They'll definitely get it done today if they keep working at the rate they're working. So I wasn't sure how long it was going to take. I've been a little unnerved by this, you guys. How did they fit in here before? I guess I can finagle that later. But one thing is, I know the driveway is going to look really good when they're done, so I'm having to put up with this, all this nervous energy. Oh, got it on this little toe. You'll never know when I cut it out. All right. Oh, there's plenty of room. They don't have to lay flat. Cool. Do a whole video just licking supplies. Appeal to a whole new crowd. Art Junkie, did I say hi? Yeah, they don't work for the government. I promise you. All right, let's fill up this page doing the cat and dog accessories. Here's all the stuff that's in this side, a bunch of different hats, some balloons. Now, see, the balloons, I would normally keep the balloons in, say, birthday/celebration. Same with the birthday hat. Santa's hat would go in Christmas. So I think each of these I'm going to stamp twice. So they'll go in like the Tim Holtz section, because I'm going to build a new Tim Holtz section. And then in the section, so that if I'm looking for a paintbrush, I could find a paintbrush. Know what I mean? So each of these, I think I'll just stamp out twice. And if I don't put it in the, I have to lick them. They don't want to stay on. All right, here's how we're going to do this one. All right, keep your fingers crossed. We're going to do some time saving and see if this works. Because it's not like I'm going to use these for a project. It's really just to help my bad memory know what I have, right? So I should be able to let's see, this can go in there like that. We'll do an experiment. If it doesn't work, we won't do it again. What is this, a whip? What the hell? I'm not going to stamp this one. What is it even? Or this? Oh, you know what they are. They're strings for the balloons. I'll draw the damn strings for the balloons. What the hell? What the hell? Have you seen the little kids saying that? What the hell? What the hell? Those might be some of my favorite videos. Did somebody named Lavender come in? Hi, Lavender. This is a crazy stream for you to be coming to, because normally I'm actually doing a project. Today I'm indulging myself because I'm nervous. Because I have strangers in my midst. All right, I have some little extra space. Let's see if we can fit that one on there. Now they're all licked on. All right, let's see if this works, you guys. If it does, I may not even put them on the blocks. I may just ink that whole damn thing. All right, fingers crossed. Oh. Gosh, this is going to work, you guys. It's going to work. I know it. I know it. Look at me being, oh, pencil fell. That's okay. We'll get it. I'm standing up to make sure I get a good impression. Now watch them all fall off when I pick it up. Ready, set, go. Yeah, baby. Look at me getting all smart over here. Damn, I love that. Gonna get this done at lightning speed. And I'm doing it twice so I can locate them 2 different locations in my sample book, right? Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad you joined us, Lavender. Bunch of nice ladies in chat. Don't let them fool you. Some of them are pretty evil. All right, I'm going to get a new sheet of paper out, and we're going to do another experiment. You like the weather here? Well, it's lucky you're not here later on in the week, because later on in the week, it's going to be rainy all week. All right, now these are stuck really good on their plastic sheet. So if I don't goof up, that's a big if I, okay, see, these 2 are too close together. I'm not getting ink on one of them, so we'll move it. Now it won't stay on the plastic probably. Yeah, we're supposed to get rain all week. And I'm going to have to go out either Wednesday. Well, probably I'll put it off till Thursday so I can go watch Bossy Butt work on her ATC cards. And for those of you who came in late, I am stamping on that washi sticker paper that I ordered from Amazon. All right. And I'm not so worried. Yeah, see, for the sample book, those are perfect. Mischievous. Kristen's right. You're mischievous. You're not evil. All right. These, I'm going to go ahead and do this one twice because, like, the hats, I don't even know where they go in the book, but this is the lazy way to do this. Check it out. That hat didn't come out good, but that's okay because I'm not even sure what section the hats go in. It's not like I have a tire section. Attire, A-T-T-I-R-E, not tire. You know what I mean. Now, I wish I'd thought of that before I moved all these off. That's okay. We'll get them back in a big fat hurry. But I do like the paint brushes and all the crud, you know. The balloon strings, They're stupid. Sorry, Tim Holtz, but they're really stupid. And how did all of these come off this one sheet? They couldn't have. Did they? No way. Let me see. I did stamp them off on here. Huh. Don't know. It's all right. We'll just stick them in there like this. I may have to create a new section for art supplies because I bought a couple of, I think I've shown them to you guys. I don't know. But yeah, I bought a couple of sets of stamps of art supplies. Okay, that's going to work. And now that I know if these are on a plastic sheet, we're going to stamp this whole bad boy all together. Damn, Sam. The only one off this whole thing I've ever used was the pumpkin. Well, the thing is, I forget I have them, right? But maybe if they're in my book and I'm flipping through my book, I'll be more inclined to use them, right? That's my hope. Okay, in chat, tell me the weirdest rubber stamp you own. The weirdest stamp I own, I'm pretty sure, is a stamp that says, here, I picked this booger just for you. I'm pretty sure that's the weirdest one I have. Here, I picked this booger just for you. All right, hopefully this works. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. Don't fall off the plastic, okay? Work with me here. Whew, that one wasn't even on the plastic. Just a little bit of it. Dang. Hi, Kathleen. You finally finished your stamp catalog, Barbie, but now you need a thicker binder. See? That's the thing. I think I'm going to keep mine in a box or like in a little tote. I saw one that's like 8.5 by 11 inch, and I'm sure it's to keep your bills and stuff organized in, but I think I'm going to put mine in a little tote. And then I can keep a bunch of other stuff. Oh, it moved. Damn it. That's okay. I think it's okay. For the stamp book, it's fine. All right, we're going to stamp that off again. Is there enough room on this sheet of paper? Not really. All right. We'll just put it on another one and fill that up with something else. Yeah, mine used to be in like a 3-inch, at least a 3-inch binder. It might have been a 4-inch binder. Like, not even hosing. Pumpkin did not come out good, so I'll do an extra one of the pumpkin. I was worried about the pumpkin falling off. After you peel them off these plastic sheets, they never stick as well again. Another thing I could do is put the paper on top of this and rub it, but I think I'm going to try and stamp it so I can use the block on it. Let's see. Ready, set, don't move, don't move, don't move. Good job. Where's that big hulking block? Yep, moved it again. I can make that work. I think I'm going to do an extra of the pumpkin now. Kind of smeared it up a little bit, but I'm going to cut it real close, so I think it'll be okay. But I do want a couple of the pumpkin. And if I don't use them in the stamp catalog, they'll probably end up at some point in the Beast. So, yeah. Well, that made that very easy. And I'm okay with it not being exactly perfect. All right, got both sides of that one. Yeehaw! All right, should I go back and color some of the early ones? Would you guys like to see some coloring rather than stamping now? And I got out, I told you guys a couple weeks ago, for the longest time, I've been wanting some bright colored alcohol markers, right? And I've been resisting, because I have a bunch of alcohol markers, but I just had the wants really, really bad. So finally, a couple weeks ago, I don't know if these popped up in my suggested for you, but obviously Amazon knew that I had been looking and looking. And so this popped up, and it was pretty cheap. You got 50 alcohol markers for $30, which I thought, well, that's pretty good, less than $1 a marker. And the colors look fairly bright. I think they just are manufacturing these things under different names now. But I did get some good bright colors in there. But in all honesty, I think they're a duplicate of what I already have, to be honest. But whatever, live and learn. But I do use my swatch cards to pick out colors. You got the wants really bad. Oh, when you get the wants, it's just so hard to resist. All right, let's and these I haven't put in the build yet, because this is the first time I'm really using them other than doing the swatch card. But these lids are so deceiving. Like, they're not even close. And the reason I went ahead and bought these is because they had the brush and the fine. I have plenty of ones that have like the fine and the broad nib. Those drive me crazy. Don't like those. But these brush with the fine, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, yeah. All right, let me move so you guys have better light. I've got no room here. And I don't hear those guys out there. They better be out there working. That's all I got to say for them. I will try and color somewhat in the lines because I don't like to fussy cut. So I don't have to cut too close, and the washi sticker paper disappears into the background. So that's a good thing. So we're going to make ourselves a little yellow kitty. And it looks like the alcohol marker is smearing the archival ink. I don't remember if that happened with the other ones, because I have used alcohol markers on this paper, but never with the archival ink. I think I used them with something. Okay, let me go check. I think they're knocking on the front door. Let me go check real quick, you guys. No, I guess not. Was that you knocking?
Nope.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay. All right, I guess not. Something was knocking somewhere. Robert said it wasn't him. But anyway, I don't think I had tried the alcohol markers with the archival ink. Bye, Lavender. Thanks for stopping by and meeting the ladies.
An idiot is attempting
reach you on your cellular device.
Oh, it's all right. Robert went out. I guess they were trying to knock because he just called me on the phone. Robert went out there though. All right. Let's just see. Do some little bit of shading. Need the 314 back. When I color, I get quiet, so. And honestly, for the sample book, you don't have to color them. But I just like to. Especially if I end up with a, oops, put the wrong lid on. Especially if I end up coloring one that I really like the way, the color choice and stuff like that. Yeah. Do we want a gray kitty cat? Let's do cool gray. 1107. Nope. Well, that'll be a good shade color. I want the 1103. We'll do a gray kitty cat. The brush side is the one that has the gray rim. I've got to remember that. So I didn't read chat after I asked you guys a question. What's the most ridiculous stamp you guys have? I have a bunch of really ridiculous ones. And I was thinking of one the other day that I got. It's like really, really old. And a guy in Boulder, a friend of Jamie's that he worked with Jamie, had given it to me. And it was a pizza. And the other day, I don't even know what made me think of that stamp, but I went and looked for it, and I don't know where it's gone. And that is very annoying. Hi, K-Berg. I'm stamping and coloring today. Because I was too nervous to do anything else. They're here working on my driveway. And I thought it might be too noisy for me to even work, but they're working away from the house right now. But I have to say, I was a little nervous. The alcohol marker does spread nice on this. And when you take it off, I don't remember if I showed you guys or not, but alcohol markers on this paper makes you see the texture of the paper, which is really cool. Washi sticker paper, yep. All right, what color should we make the next cat? Let's do... Who names these colors? Morin. It looks like Morin, like you moron. Let's do 611. All right. What kind of job would that be? I would love that job. Naming colors. Let's call this one moron. Of course, nobody could buy the colors I buy because they would have probably dirty words in them. Every parent would be like, we can't give this to our kid. Yeah, see that alcohol ink is moving a little bit. I'm going to cut one out and, well, I didn't make two of these though. But yeah, that's one thing. Be careful of stamping on this. I know water-based markers, they don't move, so I'll probably switch over to water-based markers. But it looks to me like the ink is smearing a little bit. Next one we'll do with Memento ink. Well, that's a good experiment. I have some Memento inks, so we will give that a try, little bossy butt. So the rest of them, I know I'm going to have to use water-based markers, which is not a problem. I have plenty. You probably need to be high, you think? Or maybe it was Stays On. Now, my Stays On I got rid of. But yeah, go look so I can tell people, Devin, if you don't mind. I could not stand the smell of Stays On. Now, I do have the Stays On stamp cleaner that I like very much. It's excellent. But Stays On, yeah, I would imagine that will stay put. This is a swatch sheet of the Crayola Super Tips. So we've got a brown, a gray, a yellow. Let's do a white with just gray stripes. Yeah, the Super Tip water-based markers, they don't move at all. So I think I stamped these out for Terry Brett. I sent her a bunch of stamped images on the washi stickers so she could just color them. Let's give him little pink ears. He'll just be a white kitty. You know what's pissing me off is all the cats on IG, the artificial intelligence. You did. Did you use the ink? I probably am. I probably did, Terry. So don't use alcohol markers on it. But every other product should work fine. I know colored pencils work really well. So yeah, just be mindful. Don't use alcohol because yeah, this ink, this Ranger archival ink is some of my favorite. I mean, I use it for everything because it's permanent. But yeah, that's good, Terry, because yeah, let's do a little brown one, a light brown one. 77, that's too dark. '78's good. I guess Robert was able to help those guys out there. He looks like he's scared of his tail. And Terry, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, some of yours are stamped directly, and some of them came out of my printer because I had stamped everything off on the wrong side of the sheet, if you remember correctly. And I ended up having to make photocopies. Okay, hang on just a second. I'm going to mute you guys. All right. The guy needs something to wash tar off. How would I have anything that would get tar off? The only thing I can think is Dawn dishwashing detergent. Anybody else got any ideas? Alcohol? Would alcohol get tar off? Take a little poll here and you guys can tell me. If you know you're working with tar and you get it on you, wouldn't you bring your own? I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitchy. Aren't these cats perfect for snark? No one has ever called you the tar queen of the Midwest. Apparently not, Flo. I'm thinking it's his skin, Kristen. I don't know. Nail polish remover. I'm not giving him my nail polish remover. Not that I use it a whole lot, obviously. All right. Like the milk, I think all I need for it is some little bit of shadow here. I got ink all over me. I don't know how I'm going to get that off. All right, and then let's do, how dark is that? That's see-through. We'll do the label blue. I hope this driveway looks as good as I think it's going to. If it doesn't, you guys, I'll be miserable to live with. The Google says baby oil or petroleum jelly. Do I have any baby oil? I probably do. But the thing is, okay, you guys, work with me here. He's working outside and in my yard. If he pours baby oil out on his hands to clean it, is it going to kill my yard? Stays on his alcohol base so good with the non-porous surfaces and watercoloring. Okay. Well, that makes me think Stays On might move too, Devin. Because you can make the alcohol markers move with other alcohol markers. Memento works with alcohol markers. Confirms. Okay. We're going to try that next. So I'll get out some Memento. All right. I'm going to leave the big cats. I'll do those later. Let's do one of these hats. We'll do a dark gray. I'm going to have to start taking notes of what I meant to talk to you, because when I was coloring this dark gray, I thought, what was I going to talk with these ladies about? I'm going to have to start taking notes. We'll do one of them brown. Which is the brown? Let's do one of them. This one looks like a light brown felt hat to me. And these are just super tips, you guys. This is nothing special. Probably my favorite water-based markers that I have, but they're behind me and I don't want to go searching for them. That's why I'm just using these. But my favorite water-based markers, I would say, are Tombow. I definitely like the Tombow. Let's see, where's the darker brown? We'll try that here in just a second, Bossy Butt. And these, it would seem to me, let's just see if we can smear out that water-based marker. So if I was doing something, you know, for a card or something that I was going to use in a project, I probably would use colored pencil for any of the detail. Strangest one says, happy 29th birthday from your 110-pound friend. That's a good one. I like that. To get the black to smear, let's try a lighter gray. Oh yeah, that makes it smear good. Did that work?
Yeah, you got any brushes? Like to get him one brush at least.
Like to get on his hands or?
Yeah, get on his arms and his hands. He's just thick with that black crap.
Doesn't he know better? Okay. Get under the sink.
Okay.
And right where you got that, there should be some brushes.
Okay.
What the hell? Did I have to provide cleaning supplies too? Did you find one? You must have. All right, let's do the candy cane because that is simple. And if I'm doing like this nib is just almost too big for this. Not that I'm worried for the stamp book, but I would use different pens for that, but this is fine. We're going to turn these into like sunglasses. Probably should have used a darker blue, but oh well. What color rims for the glasses? Let's do the dark blue. We're going to try the Memento ink. Very cool. I probably should pull you guys in a little bit. Angie going to take a nap. Bye, Angie. Go have a fun afternoon. And they come with this silver, but I don't think it's really silver, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. I guess it's good enough. Robert's out there helping that guy take a freaking bath. What the hell? Jesus. Life is weird, you guys. All right, I want that dark brown again. And this one will make look like it's been used in paint. And it's okay if they're the same colors? No, not a nap. Okay. That's unusual. And usually if you're leaving, you're going to take a nap. Because they'll appear 2 different places in the book. So if they're the same colors, doesn't matter. Unless I want to experiment with colors. This is a number 2 pencil. So next time I show my book, you can see all these things that I colored here. Because I am going to update this book if it kills me. Having these super tips right at my elbow has been so awesome. I love it, and I use them more now. In the Beast, you already had a nap. Jeez. You know, I always thought, when I don't work anymore, I'm going to take a nap any day I want. Now that I'm not working and I could nap any day I want, I never take a nap. Unless I'm sick or something. But I never take a nap. Isn't that stupid? Because when I worked, that was all I dreamt about was, oh, if I didn't have to work, I would so be taking a nap. Yeah, this one I definitely needed a finer nib, but oh well. The whole book will have so many awesome images in it that if I goof 1 or 2 up, it won't even be noticeable. I'm kind of glad I decided to do this. Plus, it's a project with 0 pressure. You know? Dee Dee won't let me take a nap. Oh, if I told Dee Dee I'm going to lay down and take a nap, she'd leave me alone. She'd let me take a little nap, I'm pretty sure. What color is the band on a man's black hat? Let's do it gray. Well, no, the hat's gray. Let's do it dark brown. Yeah, blue will be fine. Kind of goofy for a man's hat, but what the hell? Can't really see what that is. This one definitely would just be a darker brown.
I guess they're ready to get paid.
Are they done already?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to take a minute.
Huh?
I'm telling the people on stream, I'm going to take a minute, go out and take a look at the work and see if I'm willing to pay for it. All right, you'll be muted. Okay, see you, bye. I'll be back in just like a couple of minutes. Okay, got that done. It looks okay. It looks good. I'm fine with it. So yeah, there he had tar all over him. Oh my God. And there's tar on my tile in the breezeway. So what'd you guys say? Baby oil and nail polish remover? Is that what I'm gonna have to use? But I guess I couldn't expect to have no tar now if I can just keep Robert off it. That's all I'm going to color on that page for right now. These really got kind of dirty, but I think it'll be okay. All right, let's try. I wouldn't have that nasty ass job for 5 times what I just paid him. Man, that is some nasty ass stuff. And it stinks. I don't smell it here in the house, but if you get out on the driveway, ugh, it'll gag a maggot. Like, I am not even kidding you. That's some gnarly stuff going on out there. Baby oil or Vaseline? Okay. Thanks, Kristen. Baby oil or Vaseline? All right, I could do that. All right, let's make this bow red. That is one nasty ass job. But glad it's done, so won't have to do that for at least 5 more years. Oklahoma, it's so brutal on the roads and stuff, you know, the heat. So, yeah, glad it's done. Glad I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now, if I can just keep Robert off it for 24 hours. They should clean it up. I'm ready for them to go. I'll clean it up. Believe me, I'll clean it up. But I agree with you. And okay, here's the truth. I don't think it was them that got the tar on the tile. I think it was the rat. So the rat may be cleaning it up. We're going to do this like a Valentine's present. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Robert coming in to tell me time to pay him. So now it's probably on the carpet. Yeah, downstairs, probably everywhere. I have to get new carpeting because I had my driveway done. It's hard being me. Hi, Cat and Paste. I'm sitting here whining about the mess that I'm going to have to clean up because I had my driveway redone. You guys didn't think that I wouldn't whine about it, did you? If you did, boy, are you dumb. Do I have a real dark pink? I think that's the pink I just used. Let me see. No, that's the one I just used. I don't have another really dark pink. There, dark pink. We'll try that one. All I'm doing is updating my stamp catalog, Cat and Paste. I was too nervous to do anything else. I didn't want to have to think. This guy is just starting his business. And it's hard to break in to a new business. Out in this area especially, because all the people that live here are, well, most of the people are weekend people. And they live in, like, there's a lot of gated communities and stuff. And you've got to get into that gated community. Yep, just had it repaved. And man, it was unnerving for a girl. So I hope they do well. I have to say they were fast and they did a good job. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like this little flower, I don't know, maybe I would stamp it directly on something, but I honestly would not cut that out and stuff like that. So yeah. Some of these, I think they just sell you to fill up space on the rubber. Because I think you're supposed to use these with the crazy cat and the crazy dog. I don't think I ever would. I guess I could try. We'll give him a purple and blue polka dot tie. I honestly wish they had come on a day when I wasn't streaming, but I didn't want to send them away. Using Super Tips Cat, and I know they're not your favorites, but I'm using them because they're convenient. And this is just going into my sample book anyway. Is the HOA. Yeah, gated communities all have a HOA. You could not pay me enough to live in one of those places. When we lived in Boulder, Jim and I originally raised the kids in Boulder, Colorado. We had a HOA there. And I mean, the rules were pretty reasonable. You know, you didn't want broken down cars in your driveway and stuff like that. Very reasonable. Then management started changing. And oh my God, these people started making up rules. I was never so glad to get out of there. And that was the day I said, I will never live with another HOA.
One question, I'll leave you alone. Where's the car keys?
All right. I'm afraid he's going to want to move those cars back. They can't be moved back for 24 hours. So there's that. Anyway, yeah, the HOA started going a little crazy. You know, like they got on one of our neighbors, I don't know, for, you know, one of those gymnastic type swing sets in your backyard. They were having a fit about that. And it was like, why do you have a backyard if you can't put a swing set in it for your kids, you know? And it was like a wood one. So I don't know if it had to be made out of different material. I was just like, I've heard everything now. They probably wouldn't have let me put up my flower beds because I had above ground flower beds. They probably would have crapped their pants over those bad boys because we had a mountain of rock delivered for that. People are funny creatures, you know? But yeah, you couldn't get me in an HOA. And I know that's all they have pretty much anymore. Not me. And I'm pretty sure the HOA people wouldn't even like me. They tried to tell your neighbor he couldn't park his boat. Did he win, Kristen? I'm curious. Because that's the kind of crap that they were pulling around there. You couldn't, okay, if you have an RV, you couldn't park it in the neighborhood. We had ours in an enclosure in the backyard. I'm sure at some point they would have said, you can't do that. But we built a nice enclosure. You couldn't see it from the street. It was real nice. But yeah, I think it was just a matter of time before they said, nope, can't do that. Yeah, I just glad to get away from it. I love the animated movie Over the Hedge. The HOA lady is a villain. She was measuring grass with a ruler. See, that doesn't surprise me, Devin. Bruce Willis was the voice of the raccoon. Yeah, we live out in the middle of nowhere. And the HOAs, the organized communities, I'll have to put up with that crap, but I sure don't. Some of these got pretty smudgy, but I don't care. I think I'm going to work with them anyway. That's what I get for trying to be really fast. You know what I mean? It's okay. When I cut them out, you probably won't even notice. Where's the gray that I like? Good enough for government work. HOA, it's a homeowners association. And the community that you live in, people run for those offices. And so you get the neighborhood busybodies in charge. But now that's an editorial comment. The people who want to be in everybody's business, you know? The exact people you don't want in charge of anything. Yeah, those are the people who are running the HOA. And I am the nightmare neighbor. Everybody around here pretty much keeps their place nice. No, I don't think anybody should have to put up with their nonsense. Just saying. Yeah, you pay big bucks. Yeah, they charge you. I don't know what they do with the money. Well, like in our neighborhood where Jim and I live, they use the money for like mowing the park. And we were fortunate because we lived directly across from the park. So we definitely benefited from having the park in the neighborhood. So they did that. And but I don't know what they did with the money that they collected. I really don't. I think they had like a Christmas party once a year where they bought the refreshments for everybody to come down and hang out. I never attended one. And I'm sure it's way worse now. Just saying, I bet you $100 it's way worse now. All right, let's do that present. See, I'm not sure. I guess the present can go in birthday celebration. What do you guys think? Some of these, I promise you, I will never use. When you buy a set like that, you know, I typically buy it for like one stamp in the entire set. And then the rest probably never get used. Let's put a pink bow on that. This is honestly about as much coloring as I do. Not even kidding you. Can go in birthday and Christmas. That's true, depending on how I color it. Could go in either one. Let's see, do I have a dark? Let's see if this is a darker version. Not really dark enough, but it'll work. Probably should add a little bit of white. All right, Pen, you were working great yesterday. There's something else. Oh, I know. I never finished that bow. What color do I want? Let's do the dark. All right. All right, am I done coloring for a minute? I won't make you guys watch me fussy cut. I think I'll stamp a little bit more. We've only got an hour left. Let's do the crazy birds. Yeah, we'll do it on this one. Where did I put the phone? Love me some crazy birds. I think they might fit on this. Yeah, they'll be fine. Now see, these stick fine. What the hell? I wonder if it's age. I don't know why. Some would work and some won't. Same material. I love the crazy birds too. I wish I'd gotten the smaller version of the crazy birds. I don't know if they had it. I mean, I'm sure I could probably still get it, but I do like the crazy birds. Thanks for letting me indulge myself today, you guys. was a little unnerved with all the crap going on around here. And now, because I've had an unnerved day, this is how stupid I am. I feel like I shouldn't have to cook. What is that about? Because I had an unnerving day, I shouldn't have to cook. And remember, I'm cutting these out so I can put them anyway to save the paper. So I'm going to mute. Okay. Now this one doesn't want to stick again. I don't know. True. Don't add cooking to your day. See, that's how ridiculous I am. One thing I will say for Tim Holtz products, like these stamps especially, they're always really good quality. Like I've never had one of his stamps or anything that did not have excellent quality. So I will give Tim that. Like some of those ones I got last week that I showed, when I actually stamped them out, I was really unhappy. But they came from China. They were like $5. So it's not like you can whine, you know? That's how I felt. I thought I should just return these. And then I thought, that's a bigger hassle than anything. What did you, the Crazy Birds? Did you lick the Crazy Birds? Of course I did, Devin. Duh. If they, see, that one's not sticking good. So just add a little bit of lick, top and bottom, and they'll stick long enough to get a good impression. You know what I mean? And no, these I just need probably one time, so that's fine. These will probably end up in the animal category. All right, I think that was all of the Crazy Birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 of them. I've got a stack already done. I'm happy about that. And let's go ahead and do the dogs. And then I can get all them put away. I did not get the, I don't think I have the big version of the dogs. I'm pretty sure I do not. I just have the little dogs. I probably have to lick these, Devin. See, these that aren't sticking? Ah, he's sticking. What the heck?
Shoes.
I have no clue. I wonder who actually drew these images. I don't think it was Tim Holtz. Of course, they're manufactured under his name because he's well known. But I'll bet you $100 he did not draw these. But I wonder who the artist is. Because they're very cute. Ooh, that one got really close, but didn't overlap, so we're good. The problem is I'm sitting at an angle, so I can't see exactly. I like putting the ink on this way rather than stamping on the pad. I just feel like I get better coverage. You know, Mario's son drew some of his stamps. Okay, thanks, CB. See, you guys know stuff that I don't know. The images are really adorable. I mean, the artist, I hope, made good money for him because the images are super cute. And these kind of stamps I use typically in my Beast. Now, used to be when I had a pen pal, I used them all the time. And I'm sure people who come in and look around at all my stamps and stuff, they probably think, what the hell does she do with all that stuff? A lot of times, nothing. I just own it, and that's enough. Already did him, haven't done him yet. Just owning them is enough. Actually, when the kids were young, when the grandkids were young and came over and stayed, they played with them all the time. Never had to buy color books because they could always just play with the stamps. But now I don't have, well, we have one little grandson close. But yeah, none of them are close anymore. Did I get them all? 5, 6. Got them all. Now let's get their little food bowl. Well, I'll fill these in some of the empty spots. Got a food bowl. Tennis ball. I'll do this a couple different times because I'll put it in my sports section too. And then a leash. My hands are very dirty. You goofball. The sticky paper just stuck to that. Now I have to redo it. Got no space. Another one done. And if I'll put these in the book before they're colored. I'll just go back in and color a section at a time. I do. I look at them all the time. I pet them all the time. All right, now I'm looking through what the stack that I had left here. I have some older Tim Holtz, and I think I'll start doing the blueprint ones that are just images, and then you guys can help me decide, Because I'm afraid a lot of these aren't going to have a section. You know? I'm going to do this one first because I kind of know, like this, I've used this world map one. I'm not sure on what, but I like it. I might have actually used this and put it in my passport journal. Hang on just a second, you guys. Okay, back. Oh. All right, this one I want to stamp twice because I'm going to leave it in the Tim Holtz section, but I also want it in the postage section. So some of them I do put in the book twice. And the cool thing about that is then you can never go count the stamps in the book because I've got a rule that counting stamps is against the rules. Because everybody always asks me when they see them is, oh my gosh, how many do you have? I don't know. And I don't want to know because it's against the rules. You're not supposed to know. And like camera, okay? Like those first two I did, the globe and the orientation. Those I know can go in maps, world travel, whatever. And that one, postage, obviously, I know it can go in postage. But here's one of a camera. Where would you guys put camera? What category? Now, keep in mind, I have a miscellaneous, but what category? I don't have one that says stuff. Because if I had one that said stuff, everything would go under stuff. Would you put it under travel? Okay. All right. Well, there you go. You guys gave me the idea. It'll go under travel. Another one done. My stack is done. Okay. Belinda says vacation. Hi, Belinda. Someday people will look at that and go, what even is that? They won't even know what a camera is. Electronics, ephemera, travel. It'll have to go under travel because I don't have ephemera and electronics. But, okay, here's some more really weird ones that you guys can categorize for me. This is all going to have to be miscellaneous because look it's a light bulb, some gears, a key, and a lock. And I've used the light bulb and the keys. So see, I do use them. But yeah, for me, I guess they would just go under miscellaneous because I wouldn't know where to put them. I don't have a steampunk section, Devin, but now I'm thinking, because I don't mind making another section. That's no big deal. Oops, I almost dropped that. But yeah, if there was a steampunk section, that would probably be the best for the gears and stuff. But I don't have a lot of steampunk stuff. So. All right, so this is on, that's the second full page done. Now I'm just using up space on these other sheets that I still have. Okay, you guys are saying steampunk right away. Actually, that's not a bad idea. But I really don't have a lot of steampunk stuff. Xandra, whenever I think of steampunk, I think of Xandra. Xandra was a huge steampunk. She was steampunk before she was mermaids, I think. A lot of people were steampunk. I just never got into any of that. I liked it. I thought it was cool, but it wasn't just something that inspired me to create. Dorothy, you need to catch up. You are lagging really bad. I overlapped those. That's all right. I'll just cut them apart. You won't be able to tell. Tearing this poor napkin to shreds. I just like to get the worst of the ink off. I used to meticulously clean them. Not anymore. Turning into Dee Dee. All right. Okay, here's some more that can go in. Let's see. This will be world and travel. There's books. Apple can go in food. And I am going to do, I think, a new section called supplies because I bought that. I bought a couple sets of like art supplies. Yeah, I was muted for a minute to talk to Robert. He's been up and about today because of this driveway thing. I don't know how I'm going to get him to keep him from putting the cars back in, though. Ugh. It's easier to stamp if you're standing, just saying. Look at Barbara's got a song for that. My finger keeps locking. I was off the fun foam. Hang on, I'm going to stamp that again. There we go. That's a good one. They're not always all perfect. That could be too cat and paste. I don't know. I think it depends on what it is, you know. I think there's certain supplies too that just have a lifespan. You know, markers, obviously, they're either going to dry out or you're going to use them up. So you might as well use them. Paintbrushes, the expensive paintbrushes, I absolutely recommend that you clean them and treat them nice. They will last a lifetime longer if you do. The cheaper ones, I don't even care. I mean, I just feel like they're priced to be disposable. So I think it depends on what it is, you know, but like a lot of your products, they have a built-in lifespan. So my advice is use them so you don't lose them. And this is gumball. See, these will probably go all in food, so that's fine. I was chatting with Joan last night. She has Patty and Z with her until Thursday. Okay, yeah, I saw the pictures. I think Z posted on Instagram, and it looked like they were at some sort of art convention or something. So, yeah, I hope they're having a good time. Z is good to travel with. She is just so easy. And I know when we were in Australia, there were a lot of days where she was obviously hurting. But man, she never complained or anything. You know, Z was just a lot of fun to be around. Everybody was. It was just a good, fun trip. Now, whether or not they'd say the same about me, have no clue. Okay, it was a big art and supply store, yeah, or show. Yeah, it looked like they were having fun. I'm happy for them. And Joan didn't get to come to the States this year. So, yeah, I'm glad they were able to get together. And I've never met Joan. But all the ladies that go to Maryland, of course, have met her. All right, I did the gumball machine. I did the pop. I didn't do the popcorn. And they're going to get cut out. So it doesn't matter if they're, you know, there is no top, there is no bottom. As long as it's a good image, I'm cool. Looks like might get this whole stack done, which would be cool, cool, cool. So that's 3 full pages. I'll have plenty of coloring to do in the next few days. Joan is a sweetheart, as is her husband. Yeah, I've always gotten that impression, CB, that she was a very likable, pleasant person. And you know they all like each other, obviously. They're traveling around the world to hang out, so that's very cool. They're buying local UK stuff. And they visited a castle. Awesome. That sounds great. All right, this, it looks like this is all food as well. Looks like we have a latte, iced coffee, which is my favorite thing. And actually, I'm trying to think where I've put some of my other coffee stamps. Maybe they're all in food. I'll have to look. Or maybe I don't even have them in there yet. Maybe maybe I don't. So you guys need to be working on your ATC cards. It's a coffee cup. CB saw that pic of you and all of you in Australia. Yeah, somewhere on the internet there's pictures of all of us in Australia. Probably several, actually, because I remember the pictures that we took in Melbourne the day that Karen came and hanged with us. We put those on the internet. Oh, there are pictures of us at the kangaroo place, too. But I'm not sure where. If I had to start, I'd look at Xandra's pictures first. I don't think I posted any of them to the internet. I'm pretty sure I did not. I'm just not good at posting stuff. I don't mind sending a text to somebody or something like that, but yeah, as a rule, I don't post. And now that I don't do Facebook, you know, I used to post a lot of pictures and stuff to Facebook. Now that I don't do Facebook, I don't post pictures, especially of the kids and stuff anywhere. I think I've learned that if you have kids, it's not a good idea, in my opinion. I saw a story this week. Actually, it made my heart break, really. Young girl, I think she was 13, 14, something like that. Young girl, you know, but adolescent, so that she probably had some insecurities and stuff like that. And I don't know if it was boys in her school, but somebody in her school took a face off of one of her pictures that she had posted online and put it on like a pornographic picture, and then sent it all over the school, and it's still out there on the internet. So when you post something, doesn't matter where it is, and Dee Dee learned this the hard way too, there's really no way that you can keep people from stealing that image. Like Dee Dee will put pencils on it, or some people put a electronic watermark, stuff like that. But you can't really prevent people from stealing it. And this young girl's life was just absolutely ruined. You know, as much as I love the internet and progress and technology, stuff like that, I mean, it was bad enough when I was a kid, you know, with the bullying and rumors and blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, with social media, oh, I can't imagine how torturous that is for some kids. So, yeah. So that's why I've never really posted pictures of my grandkids or anything like that. I'm not going to do it. And other than my artwork, if somebody wants to steal that, get after it. But pictures of my family and stuff, not necessarily interested in. Now, if they want to, if their parents want to, that's fine. But I'm not going to. I figured that's the parents' call, not my deal, man. So, yeah, I hate those stories too, Devin. It's just, you know, and the thing is, you can just set it over there. I think one of those I might want to show. The thing is, there will come a day when those kids grow up, and who knows what might happen to them, but they'll look back at maybe rotten things they did like that and regret having done it. But by then, too late. Damage is done, you know? So I don't know. I don't know if I was a parent today, how do you teach that to kids? We're waiting. Hang on. Okay. All right, I think I got that whole stack done of the blueprint drawings. I did. Oh, these are old Timmy stamps. I'm going to hold off on these because they might be in the book because I've had them so long. These probably are not in the book because I haven't had them that long. Oh, but I'm going to have to use the big block, I think. Ugh. But it can go in my new world section. AI is super scary. It really is. Thanks, Bossy Butt. I go through periods where I want to buy stamps, and then there's other times that it's just like, I don't need another stamp in my whole life. And then I'll get in a mood and I'll want stamps again. How did I get that out of there? Must have been this way. Okay. What does this say? And I do have a section that's for like words and phrases and sentiments. And so the adventure begins. I'll leave that. I might need to re-ink this pad because I've been using the heck out of it yesterday and today. And this one I've used, so now this one probably belongs in postal. I'm going to stand up. Info for all: if you use a friction pen to draw under your painting or watercolor and some of the lines show through, use your heat gun. Yeah. I don't like those pens. When they first came out, CB, I thought I would really love them. But I never had one of them that ever wrote really smoothly. I don't know. I was just disappointed, but I thought they were just cool technology. But yeah, I don't think I have any more of the friction pens around here. Pretty sure I do not. Come on, you got to fit back in there, you pain in the butt, because it's can't go further than that. That's really weird. That I got them in one time. Okay, there we go. All right, got it in again. Whew. But I have to say, I've bought a lot of pens throughout my life, and most of them have disappointed me at some point. I think everybody's looking for that next really great gimmick or great thing, you know, that's going to make everybody want them and want to have them. I haven't came across anything. Probably the best pens that have ever been made and are still great to this very day are microns. I think for what you pay for them, they hold up the best. I don't know. I don't know if I have a close second. Probably anything by Pentel. I'm kind of a fan of Pentel. And then these, the Uniball. Yeah. Otherwise, I think, yeah. But when you consider what we're asking of them, I should just shut up. Yeah, those I think I'm going to check first. I used these tickets actually not very long ago for the Passport Journal. I think it was. But I'm pretty sure none of these are in my book. Well, they haven't had ink on them, so I'm certain they have not. Most of my stamps you couldn't determine that way, though. At some point, they have been used. Got to stand up and get good pressure on this one. Ooh, that came out pretty good. Okay, these I'm not sure what category they'll go under either. Like this one I'll put under alphabets and words. Okay, here's another one. I don't know where I'm going to put him. Is the umbrella guy. Oh, he'll go under people. Yeah, I have a people one. Never mind. Wasn't thinking. He'll go under people. Now that one is really grungy, but that's by design. You've never heard of friction pens? They're supposedly erasable pens, but what they figured out is that any heat will make the ink disappear. So they were cool because you could erase them. But what they didn't anticipate, I think, was that if you left them in your car, or I'm going to have to use the big one on this, I think, maybe not. Yeah, I think their idea was a great one. Erasable pen sounds like an awesome thing. And like CB said, if you're drawing with it and you want the ink to disappear, hit it with your heat gun and it's awesome. But like if you write a note in your car, leave it in your car or something, and your car gets hot, the ink disappears. Now, one thing I don't know, I don't remember about them, is if it cools off, does the ink come back? I don't think so. All right, he came out pretty good. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to tell you guys goodbye. Start cleaning up this mess. And tomorrow is another day. Live the life you've imagined. Well, that's hard now. I imagine my life would be sitting on a yacht, drinking champagne and eating caviar, but here I am, living on a lake, worried about whether or not they're going to kill the worms out in my yard. Go figure. Okay. You like the umbrella guy? I do too. I think he could be very useful on journal pages and stuff like that. I just haven't done a journal page in forever. Haven't even gotten out my art journal journals in a long time. Because I got into watercolor and then the world went downhill from there. But believe it or not, I used to do art journal pages with acrylic paint and all the other cool stuff. All right, let me move that. I don't want the case making a ridge on the stamp, so let me move it this way and eliminate the possible problem. Here we go. All right, you guys, I got quite a bit done today, so thanks for indulging me. And I'll go out and check my driveway now and make sure that I'm really happy with it. It's too late. I've already written him the check, so I can't withhold payment. So I'm stuck. I think they did okay. But anyway, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, I know you've got plenty of things to do in your life, so spending a little bit of time with me is greatly appreciated. So, yeah, I imagine, Dorothy. You made dinner while you were watching. Good on you, Kathy, man. I wish I had something waiting for dinner, but I don't. All right, you guys. I'm off to check my driveway, and I'll see you guys all Wednesday at Dee Dee's. Well, no, I'll see you tomorrow morning at Kathy Berg's. All right. Love you guys. See you. Bye.